when you moved down to Miami to avoid the heat that you were getting in Georgia, that you would change your behavior. But Demetrius, he just couldn't help himself.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love BMF, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about the BMF documentary, Blowing Money Fast, episode 7. This is my review, and once again, another fire episode, and I believe we got one more episode left, and we're getting closer and closer to season 2 of BMF. So down below, I want you guys to let me know exactly how did this last episode make you feel, and also make sure you checked out my last BMF video. I dropped the BMF season 2 K9, the new threat. Watch that video, that way you can get a little bit more insight on who K9 is and what he's going to bring to the table in this next upcoming season. But let's talk about the topic of discussion. This last episode of the BMF documentary, Blowing Money Fast, man, you can tell everything is coming to an end. And Meech, he already understood what time it was. Once they left Georgia, you know what I'm saying, him and Yogi, he was like, look, it is what it is. I guess I'm going to go out on my last leg. I'm going to live life to the fullest. He knew they was hot, and it was just a matter of time before they caught him. So we end up seeing exactly where we left off in the last episode. They head to Miami. They set up shop there. Now, you would think Meech would keep a low profile, but he said, hell nah. He gonna continue to party. He gonna continue to do what he wanted to do, and that's exactly what he did. I mean, Meech pretty much did the opposite of what you're supposed to do in this game. Now, we learned in this episode, once he got down to Miami, he was promoting his label or whatever at Club Crowbar. That's what he was doing. They was living it up. Y'all saw the episode. Y'all saw all the celebrities that was there. I mean, like I told y'all, keeping a low profile was something that he was not about to do, which we know Terry hated that. He hated all the attention. He hated all the partying. They mentioned this in the documentary that Terry and Meech was still having issues or whatever. Now, Meech knew it was coming to an end, but he wanted to make sure his people was good. And that's a very key point, because even though he knew, like, look, they coming, I want to make sure these people around me are good. The sad thing is, some of those people that was around him was talking, right? So just think, like a guy like Meech, he's trying to look out for you. He done took care of you. He done so many different things for you, but you still got people that's going to rat you out no matter what. No matter what you did for them, they still going to do you dirty. And that's what we saw in this episode, right? Now, you would think a guy like Meech eventually will have enough money. He was good. He can just ride off into the sunset. But no, Meech was addicted to this lifestyle. He was addicted to all the money. We heard him say this in the documentary. You know what I'm saying? He said he'd been doing this since he was about 14 years old. That's all he really knew. So he did it every single day, which makes it harder for him to just walk away from, right? I mean, you didn't go just walk away from something like this, especially since you've been doing it for a very long time, since you was a teenager. Now, we learned about the traffic stops, and in a big investigation, a federal investigation like this, every piece matters. So even these small traffic stops, eventually, you know, in due time, they're going to start adding up. It's just going to be, you know, more evidence stacking on top of more evidence. And then you got small traffic stops across the whole country in different law enforcement agencies across each state or multiple states in the country coming together as a unit. They was like, look, we gonna get them. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make sure we all are in this together, and we making sure we don't slip up at all. I mean, they was talking about how dude was putting in 20-hour days. I'm like, damn, I already know this dude had to be tired. You know what I'm saying? I know he had to be dozing off on certain days, but it goes to show you the dedication that they put in to try to make this big bust. It was big to them, and the violence that we saw in episode 6, it made it personal for law enforcement. So this became something real big, and they was not playing around at all. The sad thing about all the evidence that they was getting, the small traffic stops or whatever, it still wasn't enough to get Meech or whatever. It wasn't linking back to Meech. It was very difficult to get him, but they didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? So this is where they was talking about the Amari old dog dude. I guess he was the weak link. And in every organization, it's always somebody that's the weak link. It's always somebody that's going to talk, especially when you put that time in their face. And this Amari character, that's exactly what he did. You know what I'm saying? He started talking. I mean, they was saying he was just telling them everything. Like, Meech is the person I get the drugs from. All this. I mean, he was just telling them whatever they wanted to know. He wasn't playing around. So once that happened, it created a domino effect. We know it was other people talking, but Omari did give out a lot of crucial information. We end up learning more about the Doc Marshall dude that we learned a few episodes back. The guy that was, getting the cars for Meech and whatever. And he was, of course, using different names and all that stuff. They caught up with that dude. He started talking. So loyalty was being tested, and a lot of people in this organization was failing. You know what I'm saying? People was breaking down, y'all. And with a big organization like this, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's suspected. You know what I'm saying? It's suspected. Law enforcement, they already know it's going to be some people that's going to talk. I mean, you got all these people that you honestly believe ain't nobody going to say nothing. And a lot of them didn't, but a lot of them actually did. You know what I'm saying? So it really just made it a little bit easier for law enforcement to get what they needed to get Meech finally. But it took a lot of time. It took a whole lot of time for them to be able to do this. We end up hearing about Meech's baby's moms and how she was saying how they let the Omari dude come in the house. I mean, multiple people though. I mean, in the house, they would feed them, look out for them, do all types of different things for them, show them all types of love. I mean, he had people playing with little Meech and all that stuff. And these people still talked. You know what I'm saying? They still ratted them out no matter what. Like I said, none of that really mattered when they put that time in their face. They didn't give a damn about none of that. Kind of reminds me of what Tupac used to say. He said, fear is stronger than love. All the love he showed everybody, took care of their families, looked out for them. He showed all this love. None of that meant anything when it came to fear. Same thing with this BMF thing. All the love they showed all these people, once it came to that fear and that time getting put on on their life, they said, screw all that love. I don't care what you did for me. I ain't getting locked up. So it goes to show you on how some of these people's mentality is. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people are out for themselves no matter what you have done for them, right? Now, we know Nicole, we end up seeing her in the documentary as well. We see Nicole in the actual show, and it was good to see her. We know she was explaining how she wanted to be different. She wanted to be the different child or whatever, because everybody looked at her, her brothers, her family as bad or whatever from the business. And she didn't want that to be put on her, but it was kind of hard dealing with that, especially knowing what her brothers was doing. But Nicole, she was trying to be that different person and just, move in a different type of way. But I am glad that we got to see Nicole. Can't wait to see more of her character in season 2 of BMF. Now, we know they end up arresting Terry in Missouri in 2005. I believe they had like a big gambling thing that they was doing, and he got busted there. On top of all the many hours of, wiretapping that they had on him, right? And then we end up seeing Yogi and Meech's baby's mom arrested. They were trying to get them to talk, but they didn't crack. They did not give them any information, and law enforcement had to let them go. They was trying to just get some intel on them, trying to scare them. Y'all know how they do. But once they didn't say nothing, they was like, all right, we're going to, just let y'all go. And that's exactly what ended up happening. But we know the episode ends off with Meech going to Texas. And at this time, they were talking about how Meech kind of got a little bit more quieter or whatever. He kind of slowed down the pace because he knew it was getting real close to them catching him. But we know it was a little bit too late for that. And in episode 8, we're going to see them finally get him or whatever. We know law enforcement was outside his spot that he was at in Texas. So it's just a matter of time before they end up getting him. But I cannot wait to see this last episode. This documentary has been very, very good. The only thing that I wish was that it was a little bit longer, but it is what it is. I'll take what we can get. And this episode was fire to me, man. I did like, seeing little Meech. They were showing him and how, Big Meech had him around everybody, and he was seeing things that the normal person would never see at that young age. But it is good to see that little Meech is playing his pops in the show, and he's doing good, and he's making some legalized money, and he's doing it the right way. So that is good to see. You guys, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Are you ready for the final episode? And how do y'all feel about the documentary in general? But I cannot wait for this last episode. We got one more week, and I will be breaking it down for you guys. And then after that, we will once again continue to get ready for BMF Season 2. I cannot wait. January 6th is almost here. We ain't got that much longer. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.